it's a very proud moment for me that even without having a gym from balcony, we went overseas and we did a good fighting there. When Corona happened, they were like a little bit of realizing me that that's why you shouldn't do martial art. That's why you shouldn't go for gym in Nagaland. So I started there. It was like that time. It was very exciting.
Manas, welcome to the Indian MMA Origin series from LockerRoom India. So, how's it going in Assam currently?
Yeah, it's very beautiful. Everybody is preparing for AIMMAA National. They're very excited right now. So, like everyone is doing very hard work. Very good. And thank you for inviting me.
So before we get into the story of Dojang MMA, so how did your combat sports journey start, and when did you pick up that urge to practice combat sports?
I started during my class 8, from class 8 or something. Okay. I started with karate, then sometime bodybuilding. I went to lose weight. Then I went for wushu. Then I got to know that there is a MMA gym coming in Guwahati by the legend Abhijit Chaudhary. So we joined all of them. Then I also worked there. Then during COVID, I quit from there and I started this club, Dojang.
So you also competed in the Super Fight League. So when did you decide that you wanted to compete, and how did that whole thing happen?
Yeah, actually, I left my studies, to participate in the Super Fight League selection Northeast one, because I had my finals at the same day of the Super Fight League selection. And I was in physics major, so I had to decide between going to the finals or going to the Super Fight League selection. So I choose to go to the SFL selection because I felt like we should do what we want to do, right? It's a very short life. So I decided that. So it's how it is going from that time. I got picked by Ellen sir. Then I fought there. Obviously, it didn't go as my plan, but yeah, it was a very good experience, international experience.
So were you actually into physics when you did that, or did you just took up with the pressure of the parents or something? Did you like physics?
Yeah, no. Higher secondary in science, then I had to take the physics when I got in the degree, but I left my degree, just to be here.
So tell us a bit about how was it when you initially started training? How did you feel? How was it different from whatever you tried earlier?
Yeah, earlier it was more like repeating the same thing 1,000 times. Like one kick every day you go to the karate club, you practice those 10 kicks every day. But when I entered MMA, I felt it's different. You always have a solution for something. If you are getting kicked, you can take them down. Yeah. So I felt like it's like a complete thing where you are actually fighting. You are not bound by rules. Also, there are rules which helps for safety, but you are bound by some basic rules, but you are like it's a complete fighting style. So that's why I like it very much, because you are actually fighting when you fight MMA. You are not just playing around. You are fighting. So that's how it started. And when I joined the first club, so I get to know the many things. Learned a lot of things there. So that's how it started, and it's always exciting.
So was the SFL journey your first MMA fighting experience, or did you compete before you jumped into the SFL?
Yes. During 2015, first time I fought for MMA, Yodha Fighting Championship. It was organized by Meme sir and all of them in Nagaland. So I started there. It was like that time it was very exciting. So we started there. Then we fought many fights. I fought Muay Thai. I fought Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I went for even I fight SFL trials. Then SFL trials in Delhi also I fought. So it's like that. I had a lot of experience. So it's a last 3 to 4 years, but yeah, it's very excited when I was fighting.
So how was that experience? WFC, YFC in Nagaland. I understand that there's a crazy crowd there. So how was that feeling of making the debut there?
That was like introduction to jiu-jitsu. It was like, okay, because the fighter I fought, he beat me for 3 minutes, 3 rounds. He was on the mount. I was only defending, and he beat me. So that day I realized how beautiful it is, the ground game. How you can control your opponent and how can like you control everything. Then I come back, I work on my ground, and obviously sometime back I again went back for yoga, and I did one in ground only, but it was very good. Like this was the first time and we felt that exhaustion or fitness level you need, right? Because in first round we are totally done, all our team, because none of them ever fought in MMA when we did a lot of, so it was very beautiful.
So how did it feel to compete in SFL after competing in all these promotions, like all the bright lights, all the televisions? Like, how was that feeling in SFL?
Super Fight League was, to be honest, it was like a surprise thing because during Super Fight League, I was winning only for a bit of time. I was winning all the fights back to back. So I was actually expecting like someone Indian I'll fight. Okay, that was my whole plan. But when I got there and I got two fights offer, one was David Moon, the other was Abdul Badaksi. Okay, so that point I had two choices. Either I say no and I never fought in SFL. So I thought, why no? Let's try. Let's try. So that's how it went. So both of them were very good at their striking, very good at their skills, and I have to pay the respect. Both of them are like world's one of the toppest guys, right? So I wasn't the best man that day. So whatever happened. Absolutely.
So at what point did you decide that you want to start your own gym? Like, you're a fighter, basically. So what made you decide that?
Actually, I wanted to, I wanted to work in construction. Actually, I wanted to start my farm in construction. The process is still going on. But when I left my job as a trainer, I worked there for 7 years. When I left my job as a trainer, then some of the people used to call me like, please help me train. I have a fight and all. So that's how it started actually. Dojang actually started in my balcony. I told them, okay, pay me some money for my pocket money and you come. I put on 10 mats and I started training. Then I started taking them to the fights and I enjoy it because by that time there was no rule. I controlled by myself. So that's how we won many belts and everything. So now it's like I can't leave it because if I leave, many fighters will be hopeless. So it's one of the good things. So that's how it is started actually. It started by demand only. They texted me like, "Can you help me for this fight? Can you?" Okay, come to my house. So, but now the crowd is a little bit high, so I have to open a small studio here so that we can help more guys preparing for fights. That's all.
So basically, you moved from a physics a student to an MMA fighter to a guy who started a gym in the balcony, now to a studio. So how do you feel now with the new space and everything?
Yeah, it's very good because we have set up everything. In my house, it was like in the balcony, right? We cannot do guest control. We cannot do proper wrestling because it's very small place, 9 mats only, 9 to 10 mats. So you every time you get out. But now we can like, I think you saw the video of our collab sparring. There was like 25 to 30 guys who sparred, and it was good. It was a good feeling that yes, at least have something of my own now.
So how did your parents react when you started the gym in the balcony? Like, what were the comments that they gave you?
When I left my studies, they were very angry. Okay, when I left my studies, they were very angry. When Corona happened, they were like a little bit of realizing me that that's why you shouldn't do martial art. That's why you shouldn't go for gym because during Corona, all the trainers how they suffered. But when I started in my balcony, they actually started to supporting me because they saw that yeah, I have some talent because they never met me in the gym. They never came to the gym how I work. But in my home, they saw okay, people can learn from him and all. So when I opened this gym, they are the one who invested here. I have no money. They are the real investor here. So it's great to have a family like that.
So how did you come up with the name Dojang? Like, is there a story behind it?
Yes, I searched for many names. Okay, but then I was typing like what is martial art and all. Then I saw one word doja, and I found the meaning. So in Korea, it is used for generic terms like people where martial art is practiced, they call it doja. So I thought why not doja? Dojang MMA and Fitness. So it's a Korean word. If you search what is the meaning of Dojang, you'll find that it's a Korean word, and its meaning is the way we use gym in India, they use Dojang for Korea. So it's like that.
So you guys have been competing across the nation, and you have been successful as well. So tell us a bit about the fighters in your gym, and whom all we should watch out for.
Yeah, right now I have fighters for all the levels. Okay, I'm not talking about we have fighters of basics, we have fighters intermediate, even we have some advanced guys who used to train in other gyms. Now they have joined me. So in MMA, I can say Ritesh Paswan and Manish Mohan is right now one of the top guys, and you can see some of the challenges they are putting in. So let's see how their IMA national win. And in Muay Thai, I have Hidik, I have Lucky, I have Sana, I have Cornelius. Cornelius recently fought overseas. First, it's actually, I would like to say that it's a very proud moment for me that even without having a gym from balcony, we went overseas and we did a good fighting there. So I hope by end of this year, I would like to take more Muay Thai guys to the Thailand because our boys need international experience. Then they can compete and they can. So that's how I'm planning it. So everybody have their own level. Those who are like beginner in the intermediate, they're fighting in local low level. Local level fights, and those who are like a little bit intermediate and advanced, they are fighting in national. And if somebody who have already international training experience, game experience, I'm trying to put them outside, like Thailand Fighting Championship. So I'm trying there. If I can get, then it will be good.
Okay. So what does the future look like for Dojang? What are your plans that are in the pipeline? Now have a studio, you have fighters in different categories. So what does the future look like? And what about your fighting career? Like what is the plan there?
I don't know. I'm only 26. Okay, I can start right now also. I don't know, but right now my one of the big plan is to prove to the people that martial art and fitness can be a option for career. Okay, that's my goal. My goal is not to prove something big. I just want to prove to everybody when people used to tell me that you cannot survive with martial art. That's a very wrong thing, and that's what I want to prove. My goal is that if I can become successful, if I can help 10 other guys become successful, then our market will grow and people will realize, yes, not only cricket, from the other sports we can also grow. So that's the goal in Dojang we have. Right now, I don't know the future plans. Let's see how it went, how my studio goes, but I'll be always working on this thing. Then how can we make it a thing that people really think, yeah, I can become this, I can have a good earning from this. So that's the goal. I don't want people to do martial art for 10 years, then give up and start working in a restaurant. That's I don't like. Because many people do martial art to get a job in police, then they end up as a constable or something. But I believe if we are doing this so nicely, we should do it in a higher level so that we can have a career out, right? To the people. That's the goal.
Uh, So speaking of MMA in Assam, like how are you seeing it growing? Like there's a lot of activity there in Assam currently. So how do you rate the MMA scene then, and how do you see the future for Assam?
Actually, in Assam right now, it's very competitive. Okay, we have many gyms right now. Everybody is providing very good training. So now it's like nobody can make it like, hey, you don't have to fight, just do this. Everybody has to be very careful with their training because everyone is doing high class. Everyone is bringing coaches from outside. Bidang is bringing a black belt coach. Ankim from Dasbi MMA some days ago brought a black belt coach, and he was about to go for that. So it's very good that we have a mahol, right? Mahol, we can say that in here that everybody is competing, and I think someday it will be a MMA capital. I think so because everybody is rushing. Everybody wants to have that goal. Everybody now in this IMA national, everybody wants to get those contracts. So it will be a war someday.
So before we close, is there any message that you want to put out to the viewers, the Indian MMA community in general?
Yeah, coaches needs to put down their ego a bit nowadays. That's the biggest, because we saw two deaths in last some days. So coaches need to put down their ego, and they should open the books and read, so that athletes can grow. That's the thing I want to say. And coaches shouldn't hold their athletes like only I can teach everything. They should open their athletes. You should go. You should learn from everybody. Yeah, represent one club, no issues, but you should learn from everybody so that everybody can grow. That's the point. Many coaches think they know everything, and that hurts the fighter in long term, because they end up not knowing what to do because their coaches never allowed them. So that's one of the thing I think everybody should be focused, because last two losses is a very uh, have a very big impact on our market, because many people won't think about doing martial art, but that's because many people don't do their pre-medical checkups. They just pay some money and get a fake medical checkup, so they don't know if something is going wrong. Many coaches put their fighters in the fight even they know he is gonna lose, but they are too ghosted to realize that. So that's what I think need to say. Coaches should update themselves. That's why I choose to become one coach, and hopefully I can my team will help me to participate also.